we've read about physical and chemical properties and how a physical property is the one that a substance displays without us changing its composition, like the odor, taste, color, appearance of a substance, the melting point, boiling point, and the density of that particular substance. And we say that, for an example, if we had water in the liquid form and it evaporated, it'll still be water in the gas form. It will not change. And for chemical properties, on the other hand, a substance displays this chemical property only through changing its composition. It must change its composition to have this property. For example, corrosiveness, flammability, acidity, and toxicity. If iron corrodes over time, it rusts and it changes its composition. The iron is oxidized into iron 2 oxide. So let's do a couple of examples to see if we understood the concept. The tendency of copper to turn green when exposed to air. This sounds analogous to iron rusting. The fact that the copper is changing color is a hint or a clue that it could be a chemical process. For B, the tendency of automobile paint to dull over time. Again, the fact that we have a change of color or a dulling of the paint is indicative that it is a chemical property. The tendency of gasoline to evaporate quickly when spilled. This is analogous to water evaporating. When gasoline evaporates, it'll still be gasoline. It will still retain its chemical formula, but now it'll be in the gas phase as opposed to the liquid phase. So this is a physical property. The low mass for a given volume of aluminum relative to other metals. So mass per volume is another way of saying density. So the low density of aluminum relative to other metals is a physical property, because that's something innate within that substance, in this case aluminum. It does not have to change its composition to exhibit its density. Okay, I want you to go ahead and try this on your own and replay the video to see if you got the correct answer. So let's go ahead and determine whether each property is physical or chemical. The explosiveness of hydrogen gas. Typically when you see the word explosive, it generally is indicative of a chemical property, because upon explosion, hydrogen gas will change its chemical composition. And it will be turned into something different. That is why when something explodes, it's not very reversible. The bronze color of copper, it's not saying that copper is changing color, it's just saying that copper is a bronze color. And so copper does not have to change its chemical composition in order to exhibit its own color. It's an innate property, so it is a physical property. For C, the shiny appearance of silver. Again, it's something very similar, just saying that silver is shiny. It does not have to change its composition for it to become shiny. It's just shiny, so it is a physical property. The ability of dry ice to sublime. And usually when ice or dry ice sublimes, it goes directly from the solid into the gas form instead of going from solid to liquid to gas like water does. And for those of you who don't know what dry ice is just solid carbon dioxide. And so again, this idea is similar to evaporation. If something evaporates, or it's still like water. When water evaporates, it's still H2O, except it's in its gas form. Well, same thing here. When carbon dioxide or dry ice, it goes from its solid to its gas form, it's still carbon dioxide. It does not change chemical properties, so it is also a physical property.